So, Michael, what advice do you have for all the up-and-coming young dancers who are looking to break into show business?
You know what? I guess the biggest advice I would give to them is once they start making money and actually proving that they're getting work as a dancer, don't just stay as a dancer. Become more, because there's for me, dancers are actors, entertainers. You never know, choreographers. There's so many opportunities for them to be, other things and have a very sustainable career, as opposed to when their body starts, shutting down, or they don't feel like they want to dance anymore. They can move into other facets, such as managing or choreographing or stage directing. Or, one of the people that I admire his career is Adam Shankman. Adam Shankman, the director, he was a dancer, and he became a director. Kenny Ortega, who did This Is It. Those are examples, I would have dancers seek out before they get too old, before time gets too far, because so many dancers, they stay and they get pigeonholed, and then by the time they start they're thinking of transition, they're up in age, or they're just confused, and this is a very important time for dance, but yet it's an awesome time for people to actually create their path, and map it out so that they have something to fall back on.
So you had the opportunity to watch him on set. Any lessons you've picked up so far?
Oh, yes. One thing I do pick up is Boogaloo is a really humble man. And no matter how great your talents are, there's always somebody out there better than you. And just being humble is like 100% the one thing I've learned from this man.
Thank you.
Now, when you're watching some of his old stuff and you compare it to some of the stuff that like your contemporaries are doing, how does it measure up?
Oh, it's magical. Like, you can really tell in like these modern movies, you can really tell and be like, hey, those things are just developed versions of, this movie. If this movie and these characters really didn't do what they did, there wouldn't really be a basis for this movie. So, and I also see that the things they were doing back then were also a lot harder and more like, because like more basic, but they were also advanced in and of themselves, because there really wasn't anybody else to do those things. So it was all, they're making new things, and nowadays it's people just copying off of other things instead of inventing new things.
So where do you see modern dance going as far as the mainstream goes in the next few years?
Well, it's the new generation is very impressive. They have a lot of thought. A lot of people that are giving a lot of thought to theatrical pieces, and I really like what people, especially like in his generation, what they're doing as far as theatrical pieces and moving it, infusing it with other styles such as jazz or whatever. They're experimenting, but yet the illusions and the lines are in there, and you can really see that they've taken the foundation that was laid by pioneers in my generation, and yet they've expounded on it, and yet still are coming up with really interesting illusions and things. So it's going to be interesting to see how many more new styles come out, and how it's showcased. It's being showcased a lot more, and people are not looking down at it as a passing fad, And it's not breakdancing. Breakdancing is one element of one of the hip hop elements. You have locking, you have popping, you have ticking, you have animation, you have waving. There's like a whole menu out there, and these young people are covering all their bases, doing their homework, and implementing them in new choreography. So it's an awesome time.
So you have the James Brown biopic coming out. Tell us a little bit about when you're done shooting, when we might be able to see this.
Well, I know that the director Xavier Ramirez from Higher Intentions Studios, he was intending to get it in the film festivals as soon as possible. So based on the press and how it's perceived by critics and the other outside financiers and producers, that's yet to be seen, but we have to cross that bridge first. But I did want to interject something that I didn't clear up. I've been primarily known as, like you said, associated with hip-hop dance, and my style is liquid animation, but I had to disown what people know me for and put that aside, that everything I've accomplished in hip-hop, put that aside and get more into my soul roots, what was before me. And that's what my research took me to with James Brown, and so it's he was the beginning of soul. And so I'm hoping that people will see that I've delved into my character even more so as an actor.
Very cool. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate it.
Right on.
Thank you very, very much. For more news and reviews, keep watching initcool.com. And I'm John Erie.